Keni shikues të kanaleve shqiptare në Michigan ju përshëndesim nga New Yorku. Unë si më qafa gjinem këto së bashkët me Louis Romanon, shkrimtarin e librit Besa, e cila është shkruar në gjuhën anglishte. Këtë intervistë bëjmë si një paraqitje për promovimin e librit që do ta bëjmë në tetor në 28 të këtij vitit. Mr. Romano, what inspired you to write the book Besa?
Well, first of all, thank you, Simon, for allowing this interview. What inspired me to write Besa is the fact that I knew many Albanians in New York City through the 1970s and early 80s, when many of them were getting into the real estate business here in New York City. And I was intrigued by their culture, because very much like my culture, being immigrants from Sicily back in the early 1900s, I found that the Albanian life, the way of life, was very similar to my family and my way of life. So going through the research and reading the Kanun, and giving, one of my friends gave me the Kanun to read, and I read the Kanun, and I decided to write something about the Albanian people in New York City, not the Albanian people in Albania. As you know, I don't speak the language, so I'm very much involved with the community here in New York City, and find the people to be very close to my heart.
So, Mr. Romano, why did you write about the Albanian mafia and not something more positive about Albanians?
Simon, I'm a crime fiction writer. I write fiction. I know a very small amount of Albanian people are in any kind of nefarious life like the Italians are. We're not all in that business. It makes a good book. And if I wrote about my friend Sophie, who makes beautiful pita bread, it's not going to make anybody want to read this book. It's not a romance novel, not a love story. It's about the mafia, and that's what I write about.
I understand. You are demonstrating what Besa means in the book, right?
Yes, sir.
Is the book based on reality, or is it a fiction?
It's totally fiction. There's lessons to be learned in the book about Besa and what it means and what it stands for, but it is a fiction, work of fiction.
As an Italian American with no Albanian blood, how did you research for Besa?
Well, with the help of many of my Albanian friends here in New York, with the readings of the Kanun, with readings of history books, and learning that way. But I must tell you that my wife is Arbresh, so there's Albanian blood in my children and my grandchildren's veins.
Now, let me ask you this question. Is this book being translated in Albanian?
Yes, it has been translated into Albanian. It has to be proofread yet and then edited and printed in Albania. My problem is I can't read Albanian, so I'll need people like you to read it, to proofread it for me.
We'll be more than happy to do that.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Definitely. Mr. Romano, are you planning to visit Albania?
I am, actually, next year. I am going to Sicily to see my family, and my wife and I are planning to go to Tirana and Shkodra and a few other cities throughout Albania. We are going next year.
It's my understanding that this book has been done into a movie script. When are we going to see the movie in the big screen?
It's a difficult process. It has been made into a script. There is very much interest in California to start this movie. I would not tell you it would be soon, but it'll be next year, we hope.
Good luck. I'm glad.
Thank you. Thank you. I need it. Thank you.
Since this book has been turned into a script, who would you like to see playing some of the characters in the book, in the movie?
Without a doubt, we would like Albanian actors and actresses to make it more real, to make it more of an Albanian feeling. My number one guy that I'd like to see in the movie is Jim Belushi. Whether he's interested or not is something that we have to negotiate, but people like Jim Belushi and other very good actors from the Albanian community are absolutely welcome to get into this movie, and I think it's a very positive thing for the community.
Since we are going to Detroit for the book signing at the end of October, and you're going to be in middle of Malsores, which is a region from Malsia, and most of them live in Michigan, like I said in the beginning. There was a professor, Jerzy Doku, who started kind of with the promise that you talk about it in the book. It's called Beslilia. And it started somewhere in the early 1970s, where Malsort even today adhere to it and adore it, same like they adore Kanuni or Besa. what kind of opinion you have about Beslidja?
You know, Simone, I've read a little bit about it in my research. I don't know very much about it. I plan to do some more research now without giving too much of the book away. There will be a sequel, and that will be in the sequel.
So you're thinking, after the book Besa, you're thinking about writing Beslidja?
I am definitely. That won't be written until the year after next, because I'm doing another book now. But that's on the table, yes.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Mr. Romano.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you in Michigan.
Thank you, hope so. Thank you.
Në kaq përfundojmë intervistën, do të shihemi në Michigan. Ky libër që do të vim për promovimin e tij në Detroit, kemi dëshirë që sa më shumë të marrin pjesë, sepse çdo tolla që do të akumulohen për kur shitet ky libër do të shkojnë do për kishën e Shën Palit në Detroit dhe një pjesë për katedralin e Nën Terezën në Kosovë. Prandaj miropafshim në fund tetorit. Ju përshëndes të gjithëve.
Besa ves hem katolika për këto snallim se fjeta.
Më datën 28 tetor 2012 në lokalet e kishës së Shën Palit në orën 2 pasdite do të bëhet promovimi i librit Besa e autorit Luis Romano. Hyrja është $35 ku do të ketë ushqime dhe pije alkolike dhe jo alkolike. Pjesëmarrësit do të argëtojnë nga grupi muzikor Bashkimi me këngë dhe valle shqiptare, si dhe çdo i pranishëm do të marrë një libër falas. Të ardhurat do të ndajnë një pjesë për kishën e Shën Palit dhe pjesa tjetër për katedralen Nën Tereza Prishtinë. Mysafiri i rastit do të jetë aktoria e famshme Aida Torturo nga Sopranos.